Are three nuclear-armed powers quietly preparing behind the scenes for a single massive showdown with the United States? Coordinating moves, stockpiling capabilities, or aligning strategies in ways the world hasn't yet noticed? Is China's most dangerous and unpredictable ally now prepared to freeze active conflicts or pause hostilities in order to help Xi Jinping seize the perfect moment to move against Taiwan, creating the strategic opening Beijing needs? Have global observers missed the biggest warning sign of all? Are developments now pointing to a real possibility that Vladimir Putin is ready to abandon the war in Ukraine? And if so, what would that mean for international security? Could Putin be planning a carefully staged victorious exit from Ukraine designed to free up Russian forces and political capital so Moscow can then shift support to Beijing in a crisis over Taiwan? Is Xi Jinping secretly planning an invasion of Taiwan while cultivating and coordinating with nuclear-armed Kim Jong-un, using private meetings and quiet understandings to synchronize pressure on Taiwan when the moment arrives? Vladimir Putin wants to conclude the war he unleashed against Ukraine by the end of this year, seeking a definitive finish to a conflict that has reshaped Europe and tested Russia's military and political resilience since 2022. Putin wants to end the war only on terms he considers victorious, Bloomberg reported on May 22, insisting that any settlement must preserve Moscow's gains and be framed domestically as a triumph for the Kremlin. Putin wants full Donbass control and Europe to accept Russia's seized territories, demanding recognition of territory Moscow claims as its own while pushing European governments to legitimize the new status quo. However, the Kremlin denied reports claiming Putin fixed a deadline to end the Ukraine war, dismissing media accounts of a firm timetable even as Western and regional officials weigh the likelihood of an imminent push for closure. Ukrainian drone strikes are causing major losses deep inside Russian territory, with precision unmanned attacks increasingly targeting depots, command nodes and logistics hubs far behind the front lines. War fatigue, economic troubles and internet curbs fuel anger inside Russia, a combustible mix of public exhaustion, worsening living standards and tightened information control that is amplifying domestic discontent. The Russian elite fears the Ukraine war has hit a dead end with no clear solution. Sections of Moscow's power circle privately worry that the conflict has become a costly stalemate without a politically acceptable exit. Ukraine and its allies believe Russia's invasion is steadily losing momentum, with coordinated Western support and battlefield resilience gradually eroding Moscow's capacity to sustain large-scale offensives. Kyiv's forces are holding the front line and slowing Russia's spring offensive. Ukrainian units have stabilized key sectors, blunted advances and forced Russian commanders to reassess timetables and tactics. Ukraine's expanding drone warfare is emerging as a decisive battlefield factor. Increasingly sophisticated and massed unmanned strikes are shaping logistics, air defense burdens and frontline dynamics in ways that favor Kyiv. Notably, this comes as Trump advisors reportedly fear a Taiwan crisis is growing. Senior figures around the former president have privately warned that tensions over the island are escalating and could soon force difficult policy choices. During Trump's visit, she told the POTUS that Taiwan remains the most sensitive issue between the US and China. Beijing's leader emphasized in direct talks that the island is a core interest for China and a potential flashpoint that could derail bilateral relations. However, behind closed doors, Trump advisors reportedly fear a Taiwan crisis is growing. Even as public statements aim to calm nerves, private conversations among advisors reveal mounting concern about Beijing's trajectory and US deterrence options. US officials privately worry China may move against Taiwan within 5 years, Axios reported. Some American policymakers and intelligence assessments now caution that Beijing's military modernization and political timelines make a near-to-mid-term contingency increasingly plausible. Taiwan now faces what some US officials call its biggest threat in decades. Policymakers describe a combined strategic challenge of military pressure, diplomatic isolation efforts and gray zone coercion that could undermine the island's security more than at any point since the Cold War. Also, Xi is reportedly set to visit North Korea, marking his first trip to the country in 7 years as China plans a rare summit that could signal deeper strategic coordination between the two leaders. The Chinese president could visit Pyongyang as early as next week, a South Korean report said. Seoul sources suggest a rapid timetable for the visit, raising questions about its agenda, potential security assurances, and the implications for regional stability. The Taiwan Strait may be entering a new era of air combat as China deploys advanced Su-35 fighters, a development that could reshape rules of engagement and force planners on both sides to rethink aerial tactics and deterrence. China's purchase of Russian Su-35s has raised fresh questions about Taiwan's ability to hold the skies, prompting analysts to reassess how island defenses and allied support would cope with a more capable adversary. Beijing's growing Su-35 fleet is emerging as a major challenge to Taiwan's American-built F-16V fighters, threatening to complicate the island's air defense picture with improved sensors, longer reach, and heavier payloads. The battle for air superiority over Taiwan could come down to Su-35 firepower versus F-16V technology, where pilot training, integrated air defenses, and support assets may prove decisive in any high-intensity showdown. China signed a roughly $2 billion deal in 2014 for 24 advanced Russian Su-35 fighter jets, a purchase that signaled Beijing's intent to rapidly field more modern and capable fourth-generation flanker aircraft. That Su-35 purchase represented China's largest foreign fighter order in more than a decade, marking a significant investment in expanding its combat aviation toolkit with proven Russian designs. Before acquiring the Su-35, China's top fighters included the Russian Su-30 MKK and its domestically produced J-16, both of which formed the backbone of Beijing's multi-role and strike aviation forces. China's J-16 strike fighter reportedly entered operational military service around 2013, giving the People's Liberation Army Air Force a domestically built platform for long-range strike and air superiority missions. The Su-30 MKK and J-16 were both classified as upgraded 4+ generation combat aircraft, blending advanced avionics, potent weapons loads, and robust airframe performance for modern battlefields. Those aircraft designs supported powerful radars, heavy missile payloads, and extreme maneuverability, enabling them to engage multiple targets at range while still holding their own in close-in dogfights. Later flanker variants, like the Su-35, inherited and improved the original jet's combat and sensor capabilities, bringing enhanced avionics, thrust vectoring engines, and survivability upgrades that raised the bar for opponent air defenses. The new air war balance in the Taiwan Strait is shifting as advanced platforms and sensors change what air commanders consider survivable and dominant in a high-end fight. Su-35 was designed to challenge top Western fighters like the US F-22 Raptor in high-end air combat, offering a mix of speed, sensors, and maneuverability intended to contest air superiority at long and short ranges. Equipped with the Urbis-E radar, Su-35 gains long-range target tracking capability that lets it detect and engage multiple threats well before they enter close-in engagement envelopes. A composite airframe makes the Su-35 lighter and stronger, improving durability and airframe life while enhancing overall performance in sustained operations. The UL-41 series engines fitted to the Su-35 boost the jet's speed, thrust, and fuel efficiency, giving pilots better acceleration, sustained supersonic performance, and longer on-station time. In combat configuration, the Su-35 can carry as many as 14 missiles, enabling heavy long-range strike and air-to-air loadouts that complicate an opponent's defensive planning. Advanced 3D thrust vectoring nozzles give the Su-35 extreme dogfight maneuverability, allowing it to execute high angle of attack maneuvers that can outmatch conventional control surfaces in close engagements. Through targeted airframe changes and shaping, the Su-35's radar signature has reportedly been reduced by more than 1/3, improving its survivability against some adversary sensors and early warning systems. China has deployed Su-35 regularly on patrols over the South China Sea, using them to extend aerial presence and to test regional responses to higher-end Russian-built fighters. Technologies and lessons from the Su-35 platform may be integrated into China's future J-11D fighter designs, accelerating Beijing's domestic development by adopting proven flanker enhancements. The PLA now operates a mixed fighter force that includes Su-35 flankers, J-10C multi-role fighters, and the 5th-generation J-20, creating layered capabilities across sensors, range, and survivability. Taiwan continues to rely heavily on US-made F-16V fighters for air defense, pairing them with ground-based radars and allied support to defend the island's airspace. The F-16 was originally fielded as a cheaper, light alternative to larger US fighters like the F-15 Eagle, trading raw size for agility, lower acquisition cost, and broader exportability. The F-16 was not designed to directly match elite Soviet Su-27 family fighters in raw size or payload, instead emphasizing multi-role flexibility, lower operating costs, and pilot-friendly handling. In metrics such as unrefueled range, maximum payload, and onboard sensor power, the F-16 generally trailed larger flanker family jets, forcing Taiwan to rely on tactics, networking, and allied assets to close capability gaps.